Now, of course, as people in Georgia continue to process the aftermath of last week's other mass shooting less than a week ago, as I mentioned to Senator Chris Murphy, the state's newest senator, Raphael Warnock, made a point this weekend that has not gone unnoticed.
What is our legislature doing? They're busy under the Gold Dome here in Georgia, trying to prevent people from being able to vote the same day they register. I think that suggests a distortion in values. When you can buy a gun and create this much carnage and violence on the same day, but if you want to exercise your right to vote as an American citizen, the same legislature that should be focused on this is busy erecting barriers to that constitutional right.
In Georgia, you can legally buy a gun and use it to kill someone that same day, but you cannot register to vote and cast your ballot on the same day. It really is an incredible juxtaposition that sums up the Republican Party in a nutshell. It is a party that has been radicalizing in both directions, both radicalizing on guns and towards the view that any kind of weapon should be able to be purchased by basically anyone at any time, and in fact might be necessary to use against the government explicitly for the purpose of resisting the government, right? And also radicalizing against democracy, this increasingly virulent suspicion that access to the franchise itself, to voting, is suspect, has to be policed and patrolled and restricted. Or, in the words of Donald Trump, quote, you'd never have a Republican elected in this country again. And as Georgia Senator Warnock pointed out, voter restriction has also been a focus of the Republican Party in Georgia, which, after a shocking, humiliating loss in the presidential election, losing not one but two Republican Senate seats, is focused on making it harder to vote. Now, they had been pushing a voting bill that would drastically limit voting opportunities, including eliminating Sunday voting that is popular with black Georgian voters. But after facing opposition from protesters and locally based corporations like Coca-Cola, Georgia Republicans have actually been forced to walk back some of the more extreme measures. So that's the good news. The current bill actually expands in-person early voting access. The initial first draft was going to limit it. But it does still contain provisions that limit voting, like cutting ballot drop boxes. Still, the most dangerous threat right now to basic free and fair elections in this country is the persistence of a large anti-democratic faction of the Republican Party mobilized by Donald Trump's big lie that he was cheated out of a second term. And that group is now targeting Republican politicians who committed the unforgivable sin of fairly administering an election in which Democrats got more votes. Today, that target was Georgia's Republican Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, who has not been some huge democracy activist, whose reputation among a lot of grassroots organizers in Georgia is pretty poor, actually, but who refused to engage in election fraud and a coup when he wouldn't find the votes.
So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state, and flipping the state is a great testament to our country.
Every time I hear that phone call, I'm like, my God, how is that guy not prosecuted? So today, Donald Trump endorsed Raffensperger's top primary challenger, Georgia Congressman Jody Hice, someone who voted against certifying Joe Biden's election and is basically now running for Secretary of State in Georgia on Trump's big lie, right? I mean, whatever is said by Representative Hice, the context here is inescapable. It is a primary challenge that says, you didn't use your power to subvert democracy and install Donald Trump in power, and I will.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.